I strategically picked my friendship bracelets so certain people can show their skills, capabilities, and strong points. Of course, I didn't want the first HOH. I already had enough enemies, so I needed somebody else to take power and start creating some enemies for themselves, which is exactly what happened. Sorry, Cody. After that, my HOH was pretty much flawless. After that, my HOH win was seemingly perfect. I made it a point to always have a house target and to have the numbers to accomplish goals. This did a few things. I knew people wanted me out, but as long as they believed they didn't have the numbers, I was untouchable. And also, as long as I could create a house target that was bigger than me, I was fine. Everybody looked for my advice, so I pretty much controlled every HOH after that. The only HOHs that I didn't control, I flipped the outcome. I controlled the outcome. I was the one who flipped the house to keep Christmas, and I was the one who flipped the house to keep Josh. After surviving the double eviction, I knew I had to change my strategy because after surviving the double eviction, I knew the pool for house targets was shrinking, so I needed to adjust my strategy, and I did. I perfectly positioned myself between three pairs: Jalix, Maven, and Joshmas. At that point, I knew I didn't have to win anything, and I made sure that certain people won, and started taking shots. And I made sure that certain people won. What? Guy.
Taco.
No tacos. And I made sure that certain people won. I perfectly positioned myself between three pairs: Jalix, Maven, and Joshmas. At that point, I knew I didn't have to win anything because I was in such a good position, I didn't have to win anything. Instead, I let other people win. And they all just set their sights on each other. So while the couple started taking shots at each other, I moved forward in the game. So while the pairs continued to take shots at one another and get themselves. So the pairs just took shots at each other and got themselves out, and I progressed forward in the game, leaving me with my final pair, Josh and Christmas. From that point on, I knew I had to win my way to the end, and I did. I won the most important HOH, which secured my spot in the final three, and then I won the most important veto, which secured who came to the final three with me. Then I won part 1 and part 3 of the final HOH, which secured my spot right here, and again, I got to control who came up here with me, tallying me up at a total of 10 competition wins. And every time that I won HOH, I won the veto that came with it, which means when I was in power, I had full control of my week. That means when I was in power, I had full control. That means every time that I was in power, I had full control of my week. I worked my ass off day after day in this game. I worked my ass off. From the second I walked in those doors, I worked my ass off day after day, not only as the biggest target, not only as the biggest threat. From the second I walked in those doors, I worked my ass off, not only as the most obvious target, not only as the biggest threat, but regardless if I was your friend, enemy, ally, or mentor, everybody always wanted to know either what I was thinking or what I was doing. And I still managed to fight my way to this position without even being touched, without ever being put on the block one single time. And I still managed to make it to this position without ever being put on the block one single time. And that's not by luck. And that's not by friendship. That's by playing the hell out of Big Brother, which is exactly what I came back here to do. Thank you. Boom. I think that's money, dude. Talk about my comp wins, talk about never touching the block, my strategy throughout the game.